Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back.
Welcome to the Heat versus the World podcast. And now, stand up and make some noise for your host, Joe Jacob.
Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Heat vs. the World. Like always, I'm your host Joe. With me I got Kay, Kev, Alex, and Deem, and we'll just get right into it. In case y'all missed last night's game, the Miami Heat lost to the Philadelphia 76ers. It was a playing game in case y'all ain't kept up with anything. But yeah, they lost. They was up by like 14 or 15 points at one point. Tyler Herro, who was taking all the shots last night, went 9 of 27. In case y'all don't know, that's the same date, by the way, that Damian Lillard was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, September 27th. So that happened. Yeah, it was not a fun night to say the least. And now the news came out. Jimmy's hurt. They're saying they're fearing it's a MCL injury. He had an MRI at 3:30 today. Hoping the best for him, but I wouldn't expect him to play this upcoming game against Chicago. But I don't know, man. It hurts. I'm gonna just get my thoughts out, and I'm gonna let these guys say what they gotta say, and probably step back for the rest of the episode because I don't really got much. But you know, the Heat, man. I've been trying to numb the pain from every L this year with the hope that they would get it right come playoff time. And it hurts. It hurts that like this really how it's going down right now. And I knew that, and I was trying not to even think about it, but I was always scared that maybe Jimmy could go through another injury in this playoff run. But nobody told me it was going to happen in the first playing game, which hurts even more. I wish Jimmy the best, and it breaks my heart because I want to see that dude win a championship. And it's not over. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but the time is running, and I don't really have any hope that we could get the help that's needed to help him and the squad win a championship. Tyler, I ain't gonna say nothing bad about nobody in today's episode. But you had a great run with the Miami Heat. You was here for 5 years, bro, and that's incredible. You know, you really went through it, and I'm so grateful you was here. And I wish you the best of luck to whatever team we send you to next. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's to Cleveland or whatever team a star decides to request a trade from. But I wish you the best of luck with any of those teams, bro. Like you had your moments in the Miami Heat uniform. And I'll never forget that song that one rapper wrote about you. I'll never forget that three you made against Philadelphia that one year, 2019. But it's always tough to say goodbye, but we gonna do that just for the one time. So thank you, Tyler. Your services, was good, but it is time to move on. And to the Miami Heat, man, I don't know what the hell y'all on right now. Caleb, it pissed me off that you missed them 2 free throws to give them free Chick-fil-A. But then you want to go out, but then that just started this whole frenzy where Philadelphia go on this nonsense, and y'all let Nick Batum look like he Larry Bird or something. And I don't know. I need some time to process this. These next few weeks, I don't know what my mind finna be like, but I need some time to heal up and process what y'all done put me through last night, Miami Heat. Y'all did that on national TV for everyone to see. Y'all had me looking like a fool in all these pods with this thing written under my name, talking about we was winning a 2024 championship. I don't care. But it is what it is, man. I'm the fool in all of this, right? So, you know what? It is what it is. Jimmy, get better soon. And if the front office decides to wake up, hopefully we can get you some help and we can actually get you a championship next year. Aside from that, Kay, the mic is yours. Say what you gotta say.
Joe, take a chill pill, man. Just hang out, relax, sit back, enjoy the rest of the show, man. I'll take the load off your shoulders as far as hosting duties because it seems as though you got a lot on your shoulders already. Um, Dealing with this loss. We're not gonna continue with these funeral vibes, but I understand, Joe. I too myself was at that moment last night. I think I quote told you guys and the world that my heart was a race of deaths. Um, and I meant that. But as I woke up this morning, and just as the sun shined, it was a new day. And I think that, there are gonna be some things that we're gonna have to get used to for a little while. But hang out with us, Joe. Just hang out with us. You know what I mean? You gonna be all right, brother. I mean, this is really no, he really felt like this. This ain't an act, people. He's been like this for the last 25 to 30 minutes. We only been on here for like 5-6 minutes. So that tells y'all that we really, you know what I mean? Like he really feels some type of way, and we feel for him. But with that being said, the Miami Heat blew it. I can't really give them any excuses. I mean, they came out, they played elite defense in the first half with the 2-3 zone. They were able to keep the Philadelphia 76ers from penetrating the zone. They kept Joel Embiid outside of the paint. They basically contained Maxey and Joel Embiid for most of the game. If you really want to be honest, Joel Embiid hit a couple of big shots. The and one where Hayward got at the back of his arm as he tossed something back up, which is why as a big man, your coach always tell you just to get something back up. You never know in those situations. And then he hit 2 big threes that really were back-breaking shots to go along with that three-point play. So, I mean, for relative to what these guys are, the Miami Heat did their part in containing them. It's just in that second half to that run that Joel spoke of that allowed the Sixers to initially close that large gap that the Miami Heat took into the second half. That kind of set the page or set the stage for a guy like Nick Batum to be able to come in and nail all of the big shots that he made. I can't even remember the numbers. I usually go look at them. But I'm not gonna go look at him. I just know he hit a lot of them. And it was, those shots that
Say one thing. There is a y'all know the lyric I'm talking about. They literally say, "Why the freak Batum?" And then y'all let that man specifically go off against us like that. What happened to shame in this world, man? What happened to it? I don't know. Y'all let him drop 20 and let him play like that in the fourth quarter. It's sick. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, K. I had to say that.
it's your show, brother. We just here. You know what I mean? We here for you. This your world, brother. Long story short, I mean, they weren't able to get the job done, man, and it hurt. And speaking of hurt, seeing Jimmy go down in the capacity that he did, it always hurts to see any of you guys go down, especially when they mean so much. But your best player, a guy like Jimmy, a guy that you know that's a dog, who actually displayed all of that dog that he had in him as he continued to play on that thing for the rest of the game. So, I mean, look, the Miami Heat lost, and it's something that's going to present itself as adversity for them to overcome. And I'm not going to go too far because we got a couple of more topics we want to get to as the show go on. But what we are going to do is continue to dive into what was this Miami Heat travesty, this tragedy, this epic event that, I mean, really just was full of, hills and valleys, but ultimately didn't end our way. What you got on it, Alex? How you feeling about last night? Just the game itself, what occurred, how it occurred, and the end result, of course. Okay, we're gonna let Alex hang on. We're gonna let Deem hop in here and see what he got for us. Deem, be as brutally honest as you can.
Wait, I want to ask Joe a question real quick. Joe, can we see the number on your jersey? We want to see who you rocking.
It's 22, bro. You know, all my praise and everything
Shout
going.
out to 22.
Word. I dig, because
Shout out to 22. But I see it's a lot of.
Deem said it was Tyler.
Yeah, I thought it was Tyler.
Nah, man. I would. First of all, I would never buy a Tyler jersey. Second of all, even if I did, I would have been burnt that a long time ago.
Listen, man, it's a lot of smoke for number 14. But we just had a conversation like for 30 minutes before we started the show about who's the number one, who's number twos in the NBA. And a guy who's supposed to be a number 2 on the Miami Heat, number 13, why haven't no one talked about how horrible he played last night? I haven't heard not one word on how bad he played last night. The thing is with Tyler, Yeah, he shot 9 for 27, but man, at least he went down. He went down shooting that thing. And a lot of people going to say, "Oh, I wish he wasn't shooting." But where was number 13 at in all this? Where was our number 2 player at in all this? Listen, man, I don't know. It's Tyler's like seemed like he the only one who came to play. Like he had the balls to come out there and give it his all. And bro, listen, we can say whatever we want about how horrible Tyler played, but where was number 13? He was nowhere to be found. At least Tyler, he took it upon himself to try and to go out there and win a game. He made a lot of bonehead plays. He had like what 7 turn? How many turnovers he had? Was it like 7? Right? Somewhere.
He had a lot. That's all I would say,
Yeah,
bro.
he had a lot. That's all we're gonna say. He was a lot of turnovers. He played bad. He had a lot of stupid shots he put up there. A lot of shots he was jacking up. But it was a lot of times like a lot of shots he missed. They were good looks. It just wasn't falling for him. He made a lot of smart shot selections that just wasn't falling for him. I can't say the same for 13. 13 just disappeared. I feel like he just wasn't there, and he played I think the second most minutes on the team. It's like we pick and choose when we want to go for 13. Like we pick and choose, and I don't think it's fair. Like everyone hates Tyler, and sometimes it's granted, but we should have the smoke we had for Tyler. We should have towards Bam, because he just disappeared, like he was a no show at all. I'm done.
I mean, so just to keep this thing moving right along, I'm trying to take notes on everything I'm gonna respond to. So at the end, of course, we'll kind of circle back around as we always do. Kev, what you got on last night's game, boss?
Man, a little disheartening, right? I feel like we played ourselves, even with Jimmy getting hurt early in the game. I thought we did a great job of staying in it. I thought the zone was monstrous. I was telling y'all, like, we all watched it, right? That zone was working, right, for a long time. I think in the fourth quarter, Spo may have leaned into it too much. I wish he would have switched it up a little bit just to throw some different looks at him, because they started to finally get it, as we've seen with that last Kelly Oubre and one. But as a whole, I thought, the team played pretty well. I was telling y'all too, is a lot of points we left off the board based off transition opportunities that we didn't capitalize upon. I thought that definitely hurt us. We lost by what, 2? If I remember, I counted, I think, at least 10 points that we could have easily had on transition buckets that we didn't hit on. So, I mean, that's part of the game right there too. I think, as we all know, when Caleb missed those 2 free throws, it just felt like the entire momentum shifted in their favor, and they ran with that. And I'll give them some credit, right? Kyle Lowry made some big time plays, if we're being honest. Nick Batum obviously did his thing. I'm not even going to credit Embiid too much, because if I'm being honest, to what Dean said, excuse me, Bam did a great job of guarding Embiid. Like, he did what he was supposed to do. When we match up with the Sixers, Bam's number one job is to lock Joel Embiid up. And I thought he did that for a good majority of this game. And I'm not really too concerned about his offense, because when you're guarding somebody like that, on top of you got in foul trouble, so your rhythm was already messed up based off those 2 stupid fouls. The second one was clearly not a foul, but I'm not going to kill Bam too much for that. I do understand what Deem is saying, but I thought for the most part he did his job. And in that scenario, other guys are supposed to step up, because it's not like Philly got a whole bunch of elite defenders out there. They got a couple of good ones, but it's not like they're the Celtics, right? So to me, all in all, I thought, I'm not going to say we gave this one away. Again, we had it. Obviously the Jimmy injury is probably the biggest takeaway from it. Hoping, he's fine. Hoping is not worst case scenario in that. But, I mean, look, we got to handle business tomorrow at the crib versus Chicago. Got to do what you got to do, man. I wish, other guys would have stepped up. But, I mean, without Jimmy, more than likely tomorrow, like Joe said, it's going to be no other choice but to step up. But, it is what it is. We lost the game. We were right there, and I tip my cap to Philly for pulling it out the last second. No Diddy.
Absolutely, that was crazy. Alex, what you got, man? You been itching to let it go, man. I mean, so go ahead of this. I mean, sprinkle. I mean, let it go.
What's up, y'all? So obviously, it's a rough day to be a Miami Heat fan today. Obviously, got that loss last night. Jimmy being hurt, um, and basically, I'm of the opposite mindset of Kev in regards to taking care of business tomorrow. Ain't no business to be taken care of. It's over, and that's okay. That's what my name says. That's what it says under my name. It's over, and that's okay. I honestly see no point of us going into the first round of the playoffs just to get our heads beat in by the Celtics. Um, Too many friends of mine, people who I work with here, people who I went to college with, people who I know back from where I'm from, are Celtics fans. And to be 100% honest, selfishly, I don't want to have to deal with that. I do not want to have to deal with that. Just go ahead, let the Celtics run the Bulls over. I don't need them having that over the Miami Heat. In regards to the game yesterday, um, yeah, Bam, I think Bam shot the ball like 9 times, but I've been an advocate of the fact that Bam is a third option. Bam is on a championship team, is your Draymond Green, your anchor of your defense. Bam should never be relied on to score, and any scoring that he gives should be just extra. But there is another guy who happens to wear number 14 that Pat Riley has been trying to push on us as a collective, as a guy who could possibly step up in moments like yesterday, and we saw what he did. So with that being said, like Joe, going off the energy that Joel had, um, thank you, but no thank you, number 14. I hope tomorrow is your last game ever in a Miami Heat uniform, because all you had to do was play okay. All he had to do was play just okay. Not even good, not great. I ain't even asking for that. I just said all he had to do was play okay, and we would have won the game. And he played one of the worst basketball games I've ever seen in my life. Jaime too green. Jovic didn't get enough opportunity to really see if he can make an impact on the game. Like I said what I said about Bam. The fact that Jimmy was still on the court, limping around, is just like like I tweeted it as well. Thank you, Jimmy, for everything, dog. I'm sorry that the front office failed you. But yeah, 14 gotta go. It is what it is. He gotta go.
All right, so I'm gonna give everybody a chance, of course, before we move on. My first thing though would be in response to Dean. On Tyler, I agree with you, man. I think that he had his moments, he had his bad moments, but I think that he had his good moments, and it's the same thing I've said about Jaime. Like Jaime's is because he's a rookie. Like Jaime's gonna have his rookie moments as he learns, and you saw that. But he had a lot of good moments, hitting some big shots, making some things happen for the Miami Heat in key moments that kind of outweigh or balance that out. So you got to live with that as he learned, because he's gonna be a key piece for a long time. But he's a piece that's helping you right now, which was what I said before he even stepped on the court for the Miami Heat. So you got to live with that, because the good gonna outweigh the bad. This was his first playoff environment type game, and he still ended up showing you positive, more positive, even though just a little bit more positive than negative. No, with Tyler, that's just his game. Like he's a high risk, high reward type cat. I mean, that's just his game. But like he had a lot of moments. I'm like, Tyler, like put the back court, or you know what I mean, a couple of the silly ball handling issues. But then he hit the big three. He hit the big floater. And I'm like, all right, Tyler, big, like we needed that. Like we in the game because of those shots. So I mean, catch 22 with that. And I'm gonna ask y'all some after this at the end, so don't go too far off the deep end
Hold
with
on,
that.
wait. Can I say something real
Go
quick
ahead.
in response?
Absolutely.
I don't really care about how Jaime played. I mean, he's a rookie, so we're not looking for him to go out there and do all this crazy stuff, especially in his first playoff type
Right.
atmosphere.
No. I was
And
just using that
it's not
too as
like,
example.
yeah.
As
So it's not
example.
like
You're right.
he just made all these bonehead plays and cost us the game. So I
Right.
don't want to compare like him and like he played pretty okay to me. Like he
Well,
didn't play
but I
bad.
mean, yeah, he did. But he had a couple of moments where he was clearly forcing things or where he was
Yeah,
doing
I
a
mean,
little
but
too much.
he's a rookie in the playoff
Right.
environment, so I wasn't expecting.
But here's the thing, though. I agree with you, right? I agree with you 85, 90%. But the thing about it is we've seen Jaime for most of the season make the right decision in those same moments. And that would be my only thing. But again, I ain't mad at him. Like I said, like we saying, he a rookie. But I get it. You don't want to compare him. But again, would you agree that Tyler's game is high risk, high reward? So it's like you gotta live with it and die with it because he's gonna make a lot of big plays, but he's gonna cost you sometime too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of guys in the NBA that's similar to Tyler.
Facts. Right. They're just better or worse versions. All right.
Yeah,
So
listen, I can name. I'm sorry, but I can name a guy who won MVP a couple years ago who's I'm not going to say game similar to Tyler, but he is also a high reward, high risk type of guy.
won't you name him?
I ain't gonna say James Harden. I ain't gonna say it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Moving on. Well, Deem is, you know what I'm saying, right there, center stage. Deem actually in the group chat, as Kev was speaking, called Bam Pat Bev with a max contract in Miami in response to the fact. And it's sort of like Alex's take too, where they were like, when he's tasked to defend at such a high level, do so much for the team, and especially when you're talking about a guy like Joel Embiid being on the other side, with all else that Bam does for the Miami Heat, he shouldn't be relied on to be a main scorer or guys whose scoring is going to make sure or who's hinging of you winning or losing the game is going to be counting on in that situation. And for me, I don't agree with Kev or Alex fully, and I don't agree with Dean fully or disagree with either of them in that same likelihood. But at the same time, I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, yeah, Bam is counting on to do a lot. So you can't expect him to be a guy, and like I said, who you're going to hinge winning and losing on. But what you do have to expect from Bam is for him to understand what's going on and for him to be assertive. He still got to attack his matchups. Like there were a lot of times where he had that triple threat, had that face up, and you got Joel in front of you who clearly well, that was crazy if y'all understood what came. Anyway, who was clearly hobbled, who was clearly tired, and like you got to attack him in those situations and not look like you can't go back to that Bam from the last couple of years where you're looking for somebody to pass it to. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need you to attack him, even at the very least, to try to draw some contact to, not nothing dirty, but to, you know what I'm saying, put some pressure on them knees, for lack of a better term, on the body as a whole, because he fatigued. Maybe he don't have enough strength to hit that last three if you go into him a little bit more. Who knows? All I'm saying is I lie somewhere in the middle with that particular issue. As far as the game goes, I think Kev also said it. We only lost by a couple of points. And I know you can look at that last couple of minutes as junk time. We ain't even gonna talk about the fact that it should have been a couple of seconds left because nobody established possession. So the clock shouldn't even started. It should have been 3 seconds, which allowed you to tip off at the end of the game. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But all I'm saying is those turnovers late when you're talking Tyler or Jaime letting the ball get tipped from behind, go across half court with like 2 minutes or something when the Heat are up. Or Tyler, you know what I'm saying, stepping on the half court line. I think he had one more because his ball handling as far as passing, just simply orchestrating things was a little shaky all night. I think you look at those as well, but you don't hyper focus on anything because those weren't the only plays that cost. Maybe they shouldn't even been in a tight game after being up so much. As everybody has mentioned, the missed free throws leading to a run. Momentum is crazy like that. So that's why I don't hyper focus on any one incident as much as how they impacted momentum, maybe leading to a Joel big bucket or shot or and one of something of that nature. And lastly, to Alex, look, man, I understand you got a lot of Celtics fans. Hell, we all on Twitter. And I mean, we hear it, like they hunt us out. Everybody want to beat us, but nobody want to beat the Miami Heat or see the Miami Heat fail more than a Boston Celtics fan. I'm sorry, it's some sort of disease they got. I mean, they got all them copy and paste titles, all them fax machine titles, all them before Carfax titles, all them when bring them on the block titles. Why they mad? Like, why they mad at us? I mean, I don't understand what the beef is, but at the same time, you got to thrive in negativity, man. You should have known the day you was born, especially the day you chose to be a Miami Heat fan, that not going to be easy for you in this life, brother. Look at Joel's face right now. Look at Joel right now. Joel is paying. Joel is paying in mortality, emotion, and happiness. Look at him. Put that on a t-shirt. Do we got one of those guys? Anyway, I think Joel is that guy, so that ain't going on a t-shirt, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying, brother, is we're going to beat the Bulls. So you just got to get used to dealing with and doing whatever comes with that. Because I think we all are used to that. Anybody got any response to anything I said or anything any of the other guys said before I pose this question? And we move on to the next part of this program.
Nah, go ahead to the next one, bro.
Hey, look, y'all know I'm in my bag, man. I've been hyped up on coffee and you know what all afternoon, but that's for us to discuss in some pre and post pod situations. With that being said, I see you, Joe. Okay, Joe. Right. With that being said, look, I've heard Alex mention it. I've seen Joe notion it. I don't know if I'm there. Maybe we'll get a couple of minutes to discuss why I'm not there and why you feeling different. You guys that have a take, as far as the take that I'm gonna mention, we understand. So, you know what I mean? But the three that I'm assuming don't have a take, maybe we can go into it a little bit. Y'all ready to trade, Tyler? Kev?
Yes.
Joe, shut up. Shut up, Joe. I told you and Alex, y'all can't talk right now.
Let me go.
Nah, y'all can't talk right now.
Let
I'm
him
gonna
go
give y'all a
first.
chance.
No, let Alex go first.
Nah.
Please,
I'm gonna give him a chance.
Please, no,
I'm gonna
I'm
give him a
gonna
chance.
just be rational.
Let him go, bro.
Alex, go ahead, brother.
So, this is my thought process, which I've been saying for months. Tyler Herro would be on a championship team a great sixth man. But him wanting to be more than that and them trying to force him to be more than that is the reason why he has to leave. That's the reason why he has to leave. Because before the season, Pat Riley was talking about something. Yeah, maybe Jimmy or Bam, well, no, maybe Tyler or Bam could be a guy could average 25 points a game. No, neither one of them are built like that. That's not happening. So if it's coming down from the top, that I think this guy could be a 25-point scorer a game. That's not how he built. That's not going down. And just like I kind of sort of send it to y'all in the little chat, but I'm gonna just let it be known to the group. I tweeted after Kobe White had 42 that Kobe White was who Pat Riley thought Tyler Herro was, because like I said in my last little soliloquy, if Tyler Herro just plays okay, we win the game. But he played absolutely terrible. And so I tweeted that last night, and then the Heat Forum, whatever page that is, responds to me with a picture from when Tyler Herro scored 41 against the Houston Rockets in December of 2022. What year is it, Kay? Joe, what year is it? I need Joe, what year is it?
It's 2024.
In December against the Houston Rockets, who were actively tanking on purpose. All right, I said what I said. On the championship team, Tyler Herro is a great sixth man. He wants more.
So we trading him, is what you definitely trading him?
I've been trying to trade Tyler Herro since he scored 37 against the Boston Celtics in the bubble.
Okay.
I swear to you, when he scored that 37, I literally said out loud, "Oh snap, we could package him for a better piece now," because he showed enough that somebody will bite on this. And now it's been what, 5 seasons later, and he's still here.
That was crazy, Alex, but I got it. Because I don't know what you inviting us to take up, whatever. Kev, what's your take on the Tyler Herro topic? I told you I knew how them boys felt already. I ain't need to talk to them. I knew how they felt.
Let me go before Kev.
What? See? More negativity. Go
ahead. I want to go before Kev because my man Kev is bored, man. So I got to get him hyped up. I got to get him amped. I got to say get him amped.
What? Swear monitor. Swear monitor.
Come on, bro.
Oh, my fault. My fault. I gotta get Kev amped before he go. I gotta get him amped. No, you know what? No, go ahead, Kev. Go ahead, Kev.
Man, you just did all that just for me to go.
You swear for no reason.
All right, look. I'm with Alex on this one, right? I'm not gonna say I've been wanting to trade him since the bubble, but that season after, I wanted to, just because the issue isn't, it's not, this is what people gotta understand. The issue isn't really Tyler. It's the fact that the Heat think he can be a second option. The Heat think he can be a Devin Booker. And that's just, as we all know, is not the case. And the biggest thing with him is that he doesn't have the strength to score at the rate that he really needs to. That's the problem. He gets pushed off his spots way too easily, bro. And that's been a big issue, because that's why when you see him hit shots, and yes, I'm with you, Kay, from what you said. I thought he hit some big shots in that fourth quarter yesterday, but he also missed some key ones too, right? And the issue is again, I've said it on this podcast a million times. When you're an elite scorer, you cannot just solely rely upon making tough shots, bro. That can only get you so far. The reason that Jimmy is as elite as he is because he takes what the defense gives him, and that's simple shots. The defense is always, when you do your job, you're going to find breakdowns in the defense, and Jimmy's great at finding those and maximizing upon those. Tyler loves those one dribble pull-ups where he's fading towards a baseline, or he doesn't have full balance. He's not going straight up and down. Bro, no, that doesn't work. It only gets you so far. It works in the regular season, but in the postseason, when we need it most, when Jimmy is not playing, you can't rely upon that. And that's always been my biggest issue with Tyler Herro, is how he gets his shots. If he's your third, fourth option, fine. If he's your sixth man, fine. I'll live with that, because you sometimes you need his spark. His spark is important, I think, in that role. But when you're asking him to be your second go-to guy, that's the issue, especially when you look around the league at the other top-tier teams that have go-to guys like that. Jamal Murray gets easier buckets than him. Kyrie Irving gets easier buckets than him. The list goes on. Damian Lillard gets easier buckets than him. Any other team that has a top-tier duo, that second man is getting easier, more quality, and efficient buckets than Tyler Herro. So, again, it's not really on Tyler. It's how the Heat have viewed Tyler is what scares me about this build, because we know that with the foundation of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, they've gotten you to the finish line. They just haven't gotten you past that finish line. But I give them credit, because unlike other guys around the league, they've had to deal with lesser talent. Obviously, they have the best coach in the league. But if we're being honest, Jimmy and Bam, I'm not going to say I've necessarily maximized what they've had, but they've done a lot more and a lot better than what other duos in the league have done by far. I think we can all agree with that.
No,
so,
they've maximized what they had, bro.
Exactly.
They maximized what they had.
Exactly. So I kept it PG right there, because
like even for all of the talent that people could talk about, you got to also understand that there's at least 5 buyout guys and undrafted guys on the roster, and out of that 5, 3 or 4 of them are actually playing.
Exactly. So I'm gonna just land my plane with, like y'all just said, they've done a great job at maximizing that talent, and you've seen Jimmy and Bam can get you there based off what they do. And that's my thing. The Heat's success in these last few playoff runs since we've had Jimmy has literally been based off Spo's voodoo, and you can rank these however y'all want to, but Spo's voodoo, Jimmy being great, Bam holding it down, and then some role players stepping up here and there like Gabe Vincent, like Caleb Martin, and a couple other guys, right? And you need that. But at the same time, again, you look at Denver. Denver's a well-oiled machine. Why? Because obviously they have a superstar in the Joker. Jamal Murray in the fourth quarter. We've seen what he did to us last year in the finals. He stepped up. And they had other guys like KCP and amongst others step up and go to another level. Michael Porter Jr. And that's what you need. I'm not even saying they have to be that talented. But, again, when you're relying on a guy like Tyler Herro, it's just not it, bro. Because, again, you look around the league, a lot of guys are getting their buckets way more easily. And everybody loves it when it's going in. But I promise y'all, I always say the playoffs is a different beast, as we all know, bro. And that's always been my biggest thing, is that a lot of teams get away with a lot of bad habits in the regular season. Like you're going to see, I'll say for a certain team, the Pacers, they're going to get away with a lot of bad habits in the regular season, but they're going to get exposed in the playoffs. They might beat the Bucks because they're not going to have Giannis, but once they get to the next round, you're going to see them get picked apart because the things that they do, it does not translate. But I'm all in on trading Tyler Herro. I think we should have been traded him. Like Alex said, his stock was at his high way back, and I think the belief that Pat and Spo, I get it because you drafted him, but again, like even with that, bro, we could have had Tyrese Maxey. We passed on Tyrese Maxey for Precious Achiuwa. You know what I'm saying? And that night, I hate to say, I'm sorry, Joe, and I'm sorry, Alex, but that night, I was literally screaming for them to grab Tyrese Maxey. I know what they were thinking, getting Precious. They were like, just like you said earlier, Kay, oh, I want to get a big man. I want to get somebody that can help Bam out in the front court. I understand we had Kelly Olynyk down there with him at one point in time and Myers Leonard. But at the same time, you can't just pass on talent like that because we've seen what he did last night. We've seen what he's done to us all season. We've seen the leap he's taken these past 2 seasons. And sometimes you just got to take the best talent available. And I know that's going to hurt some people to hear that, but that's also just the facts of the matter. If we drafted Tyrese Maxey, this probably isn't even a conversation right now.
I mean, first of all, I agree with you there real quick. In response to the whole Tyler Herro thing, yeah, I've been saying that for years. Like it's dangerous for a couple reasons. You are 100% right. It's dangerous for several reasons. His superpower, the thing he most excels at, is making tough shots. So he relies on that, and that's just his game, and that goes back to the high risk, high reward. But like you said about Jimmy, and that's Jimmy's gift and curse too. Jimmy's really always searching for the best shot. He goes to the tough shot when he don't have nothing left. But that's often why we get stuck in the shot clock, because Jimmy will spend 24 seconds if he had to looking for the best shot as opposed to doing, what's ultimately some inefficient stuff. All right, to continue it on there, I agree with y'all for the most part. I'm in the middle. Like, yeah, trade him if you can't come to an agreement, which is also toxic because, like you said, Kev, they drafted him. So there's that built-in relationship where it's like, we want to believe in you so much. But yeah, he's a 3 to a 6. Perfect. Amazing 3 to 6. Like, in my perfect world, he's a 6 because that allows him to stroke his ego. That allows him to go get buckets and be as productive as he would be trying to be a 1 or a 2 in a starting unit while not having to fight for touches. But if y'all can't come to an agreement where he is comfortably going to be that 3 to 6 and understands that and is comfortable being the 6 for the most part, then you got to move him, bro. You got to move him. I mean, it's tough because I don't want to move him because I think, like I said, he could be a really good 3 to 6. But if y'all can't come to that agreement, and the Heat got to have that conversation with themselves too. Pat Riley, Spo, whoever else in on making that call. But if you can't come to that agreement, you gotta move him. So, Dean, what you got, man? What you got? What you got? Trade Tyler, keep Tyler.
So I want to know, we're trading him because of what? The fit is bad. His shot selection is bad. We just don't like him. Like, why are we trading him?
We're trading him because he's not the second option that this team needs.
And Bam is.
If not the second option.
If you trade Tyler, then obviously the movement you're making is to empower your team where you add another third option or another couple of third options so that your second option at that point becomes stronger, who is either some form of Bam or Terry. And if Jimmy and Terry is going to be your, your pseudo second options, if you can flip a guy like Tyler, let's say let me see. Give me some third options around the league. I'm gonna try to think of some real. If you could flip a guy in the Tyler into like some Michael Porter Jr.'s, some Aaron Gordons, some D'Angelo Russells. If you can flip a guy like some OGs, yeah, some Josh Hart. If you can flip guys like Tyler into them, go ahead.
We rather have D'Angelo Russell over Tyler.
If I can get 2 of them, a 1.5 D'Angelo Russells for Tyler, plus some other stuff, yeah, absolutely. Because you're not gonna get 1 and 1. That's why we saying, because you're gonna get 2. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get a couple of assets from Tyler. Because like I said, Tyler's a pseudo 1-2 on another team.
Kev, this is the thing I have with trading Tyler. I'm not trading Tyler for another Tyler.
Agreed.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
but would you trade Tyler for 2
Bam.
Tylers though? Would you trade Tyler for 2 Bams though?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's fair. That's fair. Let me ask this real quick before we let you get your final thoughts on and move on. Joe, would you trade Tyler for 2 Tylers or 2 Bams?
For 2 Bams, sure, but not for 2. I think we have more than enough.
Not efficiency wise.
I don't
level of player wise.
I think that's where all Heat fans have a problem. Like, it's stuck at. Like, I'm in the business. Okay, we can trade Tyler, but it has to be for some. Like, I don't think Terry Rozier is a good second or third option for this team or any championship team. So I'm not going to trade Tyler for.
He's the point guard though, so that goes back to that whole different thing that I was talking about. But what I'm saying,
just because he's the point guard, that doesn't make him a good second or third option.
Let me give you some. Fair enough. fair enough. But like I said, it's kind of pseudo thing, so it works a little different. But let me ask you this. Who's better, Tyler Herro or J-Dub?
J-Dub.
I'm not asking you, Kev. See,
Right.
dang it. I'm asking Dean. I'm asking Dean. Okay, now I gotta come up with another example. Hold on. Who's better, Dean? Tyler Herro or Kelly Oubre?
Tyler.
Okay. Who's better, Dean? Tyler Herro or Wendell Carter?
Tyler.
Okay, who's better, Dean? Tyler Herro or trying to think. I already used him, so I'm not gonna use him again. I'm trying to think of one more.
Wendell Carter, I don't think he's the third best option on his team.
I'm just throwing names out. What's up, Kev? Go ahead while I'm
thinking. Let me ask this real quick. This is for all y'all, but I want to let Dean rock out real quick. But let me ask this. This is really another perspective we gotta look at it from too. Listen to how I phrase this. Who is more important between Tyler and Duncan to this team?
Duncan.
That's a good question, bro. Like
that's an easy question, but let's answer that after I ask you this because I got two more real quick.
That's a great question. The crazy thing is a lot of people don't ask that question.
We're gonna spend 10 minutes on that, but I don't want to get too far away from this. So
that's
I got the two names: question. Keegan Murray or Tyler Herro.
Keegan Murray. I'm sorry.
Yo, I'm a huge Keegan Murray fan, man. That's tough.
Answer the question.
Wait. Let me finish. To me, that's a Tyler trading for a taller Tyler.
I asked you a question, brother, because you ain't let me get to that part. Is Keegan Murray or Tyler Herro better?
That's a Tyler trading for another Tyler, a taller Tyler in my opinion.
Okay, see, you avoiding the question because you know what I'm about to say. So what if I told you I could get you Keegan Murray and J-Dub in a trade, ultimately where we sent out Tyler and maybe a future draft pick?
I'll take that trade.
Of course you would, and that's what would happen. That's what.
But you know why? You know why I would take that trade though, Kev? Because I traded for a taller Tyler Herro. Right,
you getting two Tylers. J-Dub's right now slightly a better player than Tyler, maybe, depending on what you value more. J-Dub, he's not a better offensive player, but he's two-way and he's a little bit bigger. That's why you could call J-Dub a better player. But what I'm saying is essentially you're trading Tyler for two Tylers, and you call one of them a bigger Tyler on your own. Which go back to the initial argument, size obviously matters, but you said it didn't, but it do when it comes to the Heat. But as we move on, come on. I know, Dame. I'm just busting your balls, Dame. Hey, yo, that's crazy. Duncan's more important to this Miami Heat team before we move on because we already getting long in the tooth. Duncan's more important to this Miami Heat team because he bends defenses. What he does is he absolutely impacts the entirety of both sides of the floor. Opposing teams, he's back at that space where two guys have to know where he is at all time. There's a third guy with his head strictly on him, but all five dudes have watched him every 3 seconds. Duncan entirely bends defenses when he's right, and when the whole unit is right, and you got those guys around him, he impacts the ability for everybody else to be able to do what they got to do. So for me, Tyler Herro only makes the game better for him and maybe one or two other dudes if he got chemistry with him. But no matter who Duncan is on the floor with, excuse my dog, y'all. No matter who Duncan is on the floor with, he makes the game easier for them. And I'll say this. You do appreciate the chemistry that Tyler has developed with Bam, but that's the same thing with Trae Young. That's why Trae Young's really a 2. But because he's a point guard and he got to pass it to somebody, he gonna give it to the open guy. It feel like he distributed, but he really don't make a whole lot of people better unless your name Clint Capella or another dunk guy big from the dunker spot.
Yeah, listen, man. I'm not going to get on that
Tyler or Duncan, Dean. Tyler or Duncan.
I'm gonna say this. That's a good question that a lot of no Heat fans have ever asked or answered that question. And Kev, Kay, you kind of hit it on.
We lost Dan. We're gonna wait for him to get back, but we're gonna start him right back there. Alex, Tyler or Duncan? Who's more important?
My fault, my mic cut off.
Oh, you back? You back, Dan? Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
It depends who's on the court and the matchup. That's what it depends on, in my opinion. But I'm gonna go slightly Duncan. I go slightly Duncan, but it depends on who's on the court and the matchup.
when the Heat are at their best and they're whole and they're the unit that you think that they're the 5-man unit that you think they should be rocking with, who's better?
It depends, man. It depends.
Okay, cool. I can't make you pick one, but I understand what you're saying. Alex, what you got, brother?
Like the great Eric Reed says, Miami runs on Duncan.
Well, that's pretty simple and to the point. I got you. Joel, what you got, brother?
Simply Duncan, bro, because at least with Duncan, it's like he's willing to do whatever is needed from the team. You know, he's not trying to go out there and do too much just to make people think, oh, I'm this great player or this or that. He goes out there and whatever is needed, whatever must be provided in order for this team to achieve whatever they need, he goes and does it, bro. And it's not the same case for Tyler because as we've mentioned, as some of you guys have brought up, he does a lot of difficult stuff that it's not exactly what the team needs. It's just stuff that he wants to do to show that he's that guy, you know, just so he can get some highlights on Sports Center and show people that, oh, you know, I belong in this category with Devin Booker and all them. You know, Duncan does what's needed for him and he doesn't care where he does it from, whether if it's coming from the bench, starting lineup, or wherever, you know, like this dude, Tyler, like when we've been trying to have this whole thing about him coming off the bench, right? And it's like, it's been so obvious that he's better coming from there. And yet, you know, when the news finally came out, well, for a temporary time at least, that he'd be coming off the bench, he was like, oh, well, yeah, you know, I mean, I really want to be in this. Well, he didn't say his exact words, of course. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he basically said like, "Oh, well, you know, for now, I'm gonna be coming off the bench. You know, and I'll still be playing starter minutes, and that's what it's all been about." But nah, like he just wants to have that credentials of being in the starting lineup, and it goes back to a point I've mentioned so many times where it's like you kind of got to break the stigma with this nonsense because you sitting here talking about you want to be in the starting lineup when none of that matters if you're still going to get that same minutes coming off the bench. Just do what helps the team wins. And that's why I got so much respect for Duncan because that's what he's all about. You never see him complain about this stuff. And what takes it a step further with Duncan is that not only do you have that, but you can't just ignore the fact that Duncan has such great chemistry with not only Bam but Jimmy too. And it's so hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that Tyler has been teammates with these two for now 5 seasons. And I understand injuries get in the way, but even then, it's like you still haven't developed the type of chemistry that a guy like Duncan is able to have with them. And you look at some of these other new teammates that have been joining forces within the NBA, and it seems like they've been able to mesh a lot better than this alleged big three we have here in Miami. And I'm just kind of done with it. And if Tyler really feels like he can be so much more, you know, it goes back to what we was talking about earlier and what Alex specifically mentioned, that whole should we even trade Tyler convo, where it's like, fine, if you feel like you don't want to, you know, adjust to the role that we want you here in Miami, fine, just go somewhere else and take that role there and we'll just take whatever we can get from you because it's just not working. So yeah, I think Duncan's more important. If Tyler could just adjust for once and do what we need from him, maybe this could be a different conversation. But at least Duncan is willing to do what this team needs. So that's really what I gotta say from that.
And what you got,
can I
Kev? Oh,
wait,
go ahead, Dame.
wait. I want to ask a question for the panel off of this topic. What makes a guy a number one and a number two?
Go ahead, Kev. Answer the Tyler or Duncan question, then we'll jump right on to 1 or 2. And we'll go real quick because we want to get into the Bulls and a little, and we want to get into the Bulls a little bit.
So I think for this team, again, Duncan, for all the same reason that you said, I think Duncan is more important because he has that ability to space the floor, and that opens up lanes for guys like Caleb to eat, like Terry to eat, like Bam to go to work, right? And for Tyler, yes, he can go get his own bucket, but he's not really elevating anybody else on the squad. When Duncan is hitting, it feels like our offense is the most on point. We see it. You feel me? So, and in regards to Dean's question, to me, like we throw around these phrases like it's so easy, but to me, it's really only a handful of number one options in the league. If we're being honest, I don't think it's more than 15 is probably being generous. I think it's less than that. I think Jimmy's one of them. But I think you can elevate your play in the playoffs. I think when all else fails and your offense is stalling, you got a guy that can bail you out. You know what I'm saying? He's capable of going for 30 multiple times in a playoff series. I think a lot of guys are not cut like that. I think it's only a few guys that can do that. It's a lot that goes into that. But I mean, to me, it's just can you lift your teammates up? Like how much better is your team when you're on the court and when you're not on the court? Do you make your guys better or do you make your guys' lives easier? Right? I think a lot of dudes, for Jimmy, for instance, we seen last year when Caleb was playing his best, a lot of those plays were coming off of Jimmy being trapped or Jimmy dropping a dime off late second the shot clock. So I think it's a lot that goes into it, but it's only a few. It's Steph, it's Jimmy, it's Katie, it's Bron, it's Luca. Like it's only a few of them guys. I'm probably missing a few, but and for twos, like I think I'm not gonna say a lot of guys can be a number two because it's still pressure that comes with that too. But twos to me are guys like D. Mitch is the perfect example, right? A Karl Anthony Towns, a couple. I love Kyrie. I probably throw him in there. I think he's probably the best two. I think he's the main two that could be a one in certain instances. And, you know, if all the pieces were right, but I say Kyrie's probably the picture perfect example. But I'll let y'all explain the rest because it's a lot that goes into that.
And one thing I just want to say quickly to what Kev mentioned about the team just being better, you know, when Duncan's out there doing his thing, like people being able to perform better. I mean, the records literally speak for itself. I've mentioned it on multiple pods in the past. The Heat are just barely above 500 when Tyler is just simply in the starting lineup. The dude that's starting over 100 games, and he's just barely above that. The team is barely above that 500 mark when he's there. And yet, when Duncan is in the starting lineup, you know, I don't know the exact stat and how much it's updated since I last looked at it, but it's a lot different compared to what we've seen for Tyler. And you can't make this type of stuff up at the end of the day. And, you know, it goes back to what I mentioned before, where Tyler just does not want to take the role that just seems to help his team out more. And that's why we're just so much better when he's on the bench, but yet you never see us try that. We only saw that for a couple of games, but unfortunately Duncan went down. I don't know if the plan is to ever put Tyler on the bench again, especially assuming, I mean, I don't know what the situation is right now, but even if Duncan does play and Terry Rozier as well for that next game. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man.
As far as the question goes, man, I agree completely with Kev. A lot goes into it. He kind of named everything. The only thing I could really add to that is that's the key thing. A number one is gonna have at least two elite things about him, maybe even three, but they're gonna make everybody better. And most of the time, the way it manifests itself is most of the 10 to 13 number ones in the league are two-way guys. That's the two things that's elite about them. They can play offense and defense. But you do got those couple you name, like your Lucas, like your Steph's. Steph isn't a bad defender, but Steph is elite in that not only is his offense just elite overall, but the fact that he's a threat to shoot all the way as soon as he step across half court, that makes everybody on this team so much better. And he's not bad defensively, you know what I'm saying? So he's elite in those two ways. Luka is elite in the fact that he can score from anywhere. He's super clutch, and it's like he's elite in multiple facets of the game. So usually a number one is elite at least two things. And when I say elite, I don't mean really, really good. I guess hell of a player. Like that's why I ain't call Tatum elite. I called him great. But like Jimmy is in the top 1 or 2% defensively when he locked in the NBA. When he's locked in, he's in the top 7 to 8% minimally of offensive guys, from guys you want the ball hands in when it matters the most. And for me, that's what makes a number one, just using him as an example. KD, elite defensive guy when it matters the most. And people don't give him credit for that. But when you 6'11" and can move like he do and can guard four guys on the floor, like, you know what I'm saying, your defense is elite. I don't care how people want to categorize it. And of course, we know what he do in the offense. That's what makes a number one for me. Adding on to everything Kev said. What you got, Alex?
For me, it's like a lot of things that everybody is saying, but one of the things that really pops in my mind is basically, I guess, are you truly like a if you wanted to, in regards to throwing it in there, saying that because of Jimmy, like if you wanted to, could you put yourself in the top five for an MVP for a season? Like if you wanted to, could you be like, you know what, I'm showing out this year. Y'all gonna see what I'm about. Or like, because we know Jimmy has had times during seasons where like for a month he'd be like, you know what, all right, watch this, and then he looks like one of the top 10, top five guys in the league.
But but see, I think that's a problem.
But hold up, and I'll to even cut off my point, just to kind of sort of I feel like address where Dean is gonna go with this. With the problem, the real reason that it's an issue for the Heat is the fact that Jimmy, how he is, like I know Draymond Green said it great. He was like, there's 82 game players and there's 16 game players. Jimmy is a 16 game guy. So Jimmy basically, we get to the playoffs. All right, I can turn it up for this amount of time, but honestly, it takes too much out of me to try and do that for a whole season. Which is why I've been an advocate of our team actually going out and getting a guy who could who could in those games where Jimmy is hosting, be like, hey yo, Jimbo, it's all good. I only need 10 points out of you tonight. I got 30, I got 35. Jalen, a great number two option that could do that. Like a Jalen Brown is a great number two option who, on a night where Tatum ain't got nothing, Jalen Brown could go for 40. Honestly, to be totally honest, one of the issues that the Celtics have is that Tatum low key is basically a high end number two as well. In my opinion, like he's a high end number two as well. So like, can you put yourself in that MVP conversation, and could you take over a playoff series and be like, hey, I can win this by myself. Like I can win one or two games by myself.
Okay, I got you. What you got, Dan? Keep it brief, man. We still got a couple more things we want to get to. We already an hour in. Don't take the question and ask now another question is what I'm saying, Dan.
I was about to, but that's why I had to stop myself because, all right, I'm lost now. I'm stuck.
What to you makes a number one? You answer the question that you asked, brother.
Bro, but I want to ask you a question first. I want to ask you and Alex a question because it's hard for me.
Hey, look, tune in to the Biz Break. We coming back with the Biz Break in a couple of days, and we're gonna get back into all of this.
8 minutes into this, bro. We 58 minutes into.
Yeah, we're gonna get back into all of this.
I'm not gonna answer the question then. I'm not gonna answer the question.
We're gonna save that question for the Biz Break. Y'all tune back in. We're gonna try to have the whole panel back on. So I'm telling them just like I'm telling y'all. But all right, as we close this one out, I'm gonna keep it funky. I was gonna give us a little time, but I ain't even gonna do that. I think that we all think that the Miami Heat gonna beat the Bulls on Friday, and if we all wrong, we look like fools. You don't think they're gonna beat them? No, Alex hope they don't beat them, but Alex thinks they're gonna beat them. I think everybody else do. We can't see Dean's face. What do you think, Dean?
Yo, I'm not sure, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Why you not sure?
I don't know if Jimmy's gonna play. I don't know.
Well, let's assume he don't play. He not playing. Let's assume he don't play. If he don't play, you think we lose? Because I think we win regardless.
I don't know, bro. It all depends on our number two option. That's all I got. I don't know. It depends on our number two option.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. I see what you're doing. It's all good. I see what you're doing. All right. So majority rules 4-1. Look, and here I don't know. So that's 4 and a possible if you're a spades player, and if you're not, don't sit down at my table. With that being said, that's inevitably gonna mean a date with the Celtics, man. And we're not gonna spend too much time on it because we're gonna have time between here and then to chop it up about that series. But I'm gonna give everybody just a minute or two to express how they feel on the Celtics. Because this is going to lead some instant stuff for further episodes, as well as that episode of Biscuit and Breakdown with me and Deem. And we're going to have the rest of the guys, Alex, Joel, and Kev up there. I'm holding them to it now to discuss this in coming days as well. But what are your thoughts on a Celtics series? I want to hear from you first, Dean. What's up? What's your thoughts on the Celtics series? Since you don't think we're gonna get there in the first place.
Yo, bro, I'm scared to answer this question because on Biscayne, when you jumped off, I don't know if you watched the show, if you went back and watched, but at the end, I kept saying, when we play the Knicks, when we play the Knicks, when we play the Knicks, when we play the Knicks.
I told you not to do that, bro. I told you that was
Yo, bro, I'm oh man. I don't know, bro. Like, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it. Like, I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, you know what? On second thought, Dean, don't say nothing. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you in a couple of days. What you got, Alex? Sorry, you know what, Alex? Don't you say nothing either, because we know how you feel. You hope they don't get there because you don't want to have to endure the humiliation of your family and friends network texting you like a T-Mobile commercial. I'm in your top 7 and your heat in heaven. Like, come on, man. Give me something positive.
Jaime has a chance to get better. Niko Jovic is finally gonna get a taste of the playoffs. Right? This is all it comes down to. This is my only thing, bro. If we're being honest, this is the only saving grace, bro. Like, eventually Jimmy Butler is not gonna be able to walk through them doors, right? Like, eventually his career is gonna be over with. So this is gonna be a little flash of the future. And I hate to say that because y'all know how I feel about Jimmy. Joe knows how I feel about Jimmy, right? So it's like it's the facts of the matter. But at the same time, like, eventually, especially for Tyler more than anybody, if you think you're as nice as you are, you're gonna go out there and leave it all out on the floor. Because this honestly might be your last audition. This might be your last saving grace. If Pat Riley could be thinking right now, we could move on from you. You know what I'm saying? So like this could be. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna get to Alex, but I want Joe to chime in because he got real. No. He got real thuggy right there. Like, why you mean mug like that? What's up,
Hold on, wait, Kev. You know the crazy thing, Kev? Tyler's gonna go off Friday. I guarantee he's gonna go off, and we're gonna go about 30. I'm telling you why.
But that's what I'm thinking for everybody, and I'm gonna wait till my take to talk about that. What you got, Joel?
Listen, man. At this point, it's like, first of all, if a Bulls game, I think we beat the Bulls, but at this point, I'm not losing regardless. Because if we win, that's great. I'm always be happy for the dubs. If we lose, you freeing me from this depression. So you're not gonna break me no matter what. Regarding a potential Celtics series, I will say this. Because here's the thing: if Jimmy not playing
specifically focusing on that part, I don't care about none of that, Joel, because you're in the dumps right now. Specifically focus on that reaction you gave when Kev said this is Tyler's chance to go out there and leave it all out on the floor. Specifically focus on that part for me.
Listen, you think you're all this stuff, and I vehemently disagree with that. And then, everyone talking about, you shouldn't be traded for this guy. You shouldn't be traded for that guy. That you in the conversation with all these other players like a Trae Young or, like even a Donovan Mitchell, who's literally the guy I want to ship you off for. So why don't you do me a favor and play like one of them guys so that maybe I'll have to pull the hair out of my head. That maybe for once I can watch a game and not get scared because you missed the last 15 of your shots, just hoping that you actually gonna make this one and that I can actually take a deep breath for once and then we can just keep this game going. Can you do me that favor? And maybe I don't have to worry about you getting clamped by some bum defender on the other team. And DeLon Wright is a good defender, don't get me wrong. But there's no reason why Mr. Bucket Getter for the Heat, Mr. Numbers 2 option should be getting clamped by him. Because I don't got to worry about that with some of these other guys who you could classify in the number 2s or not. So why am I having to worry about this for you? And to all you Heat fans out there that want to change the goalpost for him, wipe your mouth for once. Because I'm getting tired of this nonsense with y'all. And when it's time for Judgment Day, which will be whenever the Heat get eliminated or win the championship, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep my heart open for the one time. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear no goalposts changing or nothing. I want to hear, well, why ain't Bam ain't doing none of this? I want to hear none of it. So this is his time right now. Let him go out there and be that guy y'all claim he is. I don't want to hear no goalposts changing or none of that if he ends up stinking it up that whole series against Boston. You either sticking on one side or you either keep your mouth shut and don't say nothing at all. So let's hear it for once from y'all. What's it gonna be from Tyler? So if you're Tyler, I want you to go out there and maybe prove me wrong for once. Maybe let me look back in this episode where I made it clear that I want to trade you. Maybe let me look back at that. Let me deeply regret that for once. Or you know what? Or prove me right. Cause I don't care at this point. I don't care nothing. All right. Because at this point, I can't lose. Either I get to ship you off, hopefully, and I get to pack your bags and maybe send you off to wherever, or we actually get to maybe win a championship. And maybe if God is willing, we go on some miraculous run, and maybe Jimmy comes back and helps take us to the promised land. I don't know. But do something for once, because I'm tired of it. For someone who talks so much but shows very little when I need it the most, I'm tired of it, bro. So do something for once. And that's all I got to say about that.
Speaking of
Yo,
shipping, Joe, drop your address in the chat. I'm gonna ship you a ski mask and show up the bisque break with the shiesty on, because I need you, because like we gotta call you
yo,
Joe Shiesty until you calm down, because you got
yo,
you got
yo.
a lot of thuggetry in your voice right now. Go ahead, Dave.
I feel like Joe threw a lot of shots at me on that one, man. On that rant, he threw a couple shots. A couple came my way, man, about the Bam and thing, man.
Oh yeah, he was talking to you. When you are those
Yeah, he
people,
was
don't even
definitely
worry about
talking
it.
about me.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I ain't mean that to you, Demon.
No, it's
Unfortunately,
all right.
it was,
Listen,
Yes, he
yeah.
did. He
take
did.
it.
He did.
It's
He
okay.
did. He just
I
don't really
know.
like confrontation.
No, 'cause there was a lot of hero stands doing that on social media, and it's like, can y'all shut up? Like that man did not shoot 9 to 27. And I listen, Bam not a saint too. I feel like he could have done some stuff better, but it's mainly like Tyler specifically, bro. Like we're not asking Tyler to do the stuff Bam doing, bro. We're not asking him to lock down Tyrese Maxey or none of that. So why can't you just make some freaking shots for once? Is that too much to ask for you, Mister? I want to be in the starting lineup, Mister. I
Why
think
Joe keep getting closer
that.
to the screen?
No, because I need. I don't know if Tyler watched this, but if he does, I need him to answer these questions for me. Because why do I need to have this much fear in my heart every time I see you pull up for a shot? I don't have these fear with some of these other players. How do I have less fear in Terry Rozier taking these shots than I have with you? All right, wow. Okay, because at least I feel like Terry can do whatever this team needs from him. But at this point, Tyler, the ball is in your court. But I'm gonna be nasty as hell once this season is over. So I need you to prove me wrong. I hope you prove me wrong. I hope I can apologize to you in the season finale part or whatever you want to call it. Because I want to be wrong. I want to, but I don't think you're capable of doing it. So why don't you prove me wrong once and for all? That's all I got. All I got.
Alex, you got anything you want to add?
Uh, um, shoot. Like I mean, I feel like my point has been made in regards to. I feel like, oh,
It's over. Take it home. Blow it up. Just blow it up. It's over.
now I remember why I put my finger up because I think like Kev was talking about in regards to I'm always high man Jokic getting exposed to a playoff atmosphere. I'm all for that. But I think going into a Boston series with them having Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum as their four primary perimeter defenders, if Tyler Herro walks out there on that court without Jimmy Butler, he's gonna get exposed even more than he did last night, and it's gonna tank his trade value. And I am not for that at all. He tanked it enough yesterday. I am not for anything else that would tank his trade value anymore. I'm not. So yeah, man. What they be saying? You gotta have the guts. I don't got no guts. I don't got the guts. No.
I got you. I got you. What you
It's
got, D?
over, and that's okay.
Yo, like I don't think those two young guys is ready to go into that environment.
Not without Jimbo.
I'm just being honest.
That's the point, Dean.
I
That's
don't
the
think they're
point. The
ready.
only way to get to it is to go through it, bro.
Exactly.
Trial by fire.
Yeah.
You gotta go through it.
But
with a
but
big
listen,
brother.
but see
You
this
can't go,
right here.
go by yourself.
This is not no regular series. Like this is like, yo, a lot of people lives gonna depend on this, man. A lot of people like this not the year to be like, all right, let's throw these young guys in there and see what they can do. Yo, a lot of people's gonna lose money, this is important. This is an important year. I think this is a really important year.
Screw their money, bro. All right. If it means we can get Tyler off this team once and for all, if he stink it up again, I don't care.
The reason
Like,
I
I
say
get
do
that.
it, the reason I say do it too real quickly is because, bro, let's be honest. This Celtics team is one of the better teams that these dudes are gonna possibly see for the next few years. If we're just being honest, right? We know
Yes.
that rivalry is inevitable. So
Mhm.
you're not gonna get too much worse than that, bro. Like this is gonna be the top of the top competition wise that you're gonna face. We all know what it's like going into Boston. On top of throughout the East, bro, it's gonna be Tatum and Brown. It's probably gonna be Tatum. I think Brown eventually gonna get out of there. But I'm saying this is if it's any environment thrown into, yes, it's not the most ideal, but at the same time, this is the best you're gonna get. This is how you test yourself to the most because this is the top tier competition.
It's gonna be tough, man. I just think it's gonna be tough. I don't think they'll perform well. And I don't think even Nico is gonna play much. He didn't play much last night, so I don't think he's gonna play much in Boston. I think he'll be the odd man out. I don't think he get much minutes in the Boston series.
Look, man, not to respond to anything too specific. We're an hour and 12 minutes in. I'm gonna go on tie ball around this thing. I don't believe in Boston as much as everybody else do, and I probably will end up with egg on my face.
Why not
these
though?
dudes,
Like, tell us why you
these
don't like keep it short though, but tell us why you don't believe in Boston. I mean,
because
bro,
they rely
they've been
too
one of the best teams in the NBA for like the last 4 or 5 years.
they rely too much on the three ball, bro. And when you give coaches that are good and worth their weight time enough to scheme up for what you do, they can counter that because nobody's going to attack it the same way. Every coach has 10 different ways to attack everything or anything that you can do. They got 10 different ways already to try to disrupt it. Every coach worth their weight in gold does. I know Spo keep 15. So what I'm saying is, yeah, they're going to win a couple of games, but can they consistently win 4 games before the other team if the other team is doing at least 80% of what they're supposed to do, shooting 43s a game? Now, if you got a true number one can break down that scheme and be like, look, we ain't hitting, so I'm going to get it. But if your number one has been playing in that flow all game and has been showing passiveness in certain important scenarios, those are chinks in your armor. Like any other team that they had Steph Curry on it, tell me what other team you will believe in that shot that many threes and won by that many threes. When Houston was in the playoffs, you know, a high seed, winning regular season games like that, led by James Harden, we saw what happened to them. And yeah, they weren't as completely talented, but the scheme is the same. So it's like if you relegate yourself to just being a spot up 3-point shooter, then it don't matter how talented you are if that's all you're going to do anyway. I mean, in my mind, man, look, the Celtics team should be favored. Of course, Jimmy Butler ain't on the floor. But at the same time, and like y'all saying about Tyler Herro, this is opportunity to go out there and show everything you got. It's the same thing for Terry Rozier, Lord willing, if he's healthy. It's the same thing for Bam Adebayo, Lord willing, if he's healthy. It's the same way for the rest of these guys. And we know that if it's any team that's going to step up when they got ain't there, it's this Miami Heat team. I'm not saying they're going to go out there and win. What I am saying is they're going to still win in Boston, and they might pull this thing out. Don't blame me when it happened though. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna see y'all in the bis break, man. Anybody got anything before I wrap this thing up?
Surprise me, Miami Heat. Do whatever y'all want at this point. And also shout outs to each and every one of y'all. Make sure to follow everyone here on Twitter.
I got that, brother. Do you got any last words? Is what I said.
Surprise me.
Shout out Jimmy Butler, man. Salute to Jimmy
Absolutely,
Butler.
Absolutely. What you got, Dean? What you got, Dean?
Man, shout out to all my Duke Blue Devils in the playoffs, man. I'm rooting for one of y'all to win a
mute his mic, Joel. Mute his mic. Mute him. Mute his mic, bro. What you got, Alex?
I was not paying attention. I am not gonna lie to y'all.
Deem shouted out Duke Blue Devils, which of course includes the ops. So you know what we did. We muted his mic. You can unmute him, Joe. What you got, though, Alex?
I still don't know what I'm supposed to have on. What am I supposed to have?
Oh, okay. I mean, just closing remarks, brother.
Closing remarks. It's over, and that's okay.
Mute his mic too, Joe. Mute his mic. With that being said, man, look. Of course, you know what I mean. Follow the pod. HVTW up on Twitter. HVTW on Twitter. Follow Joel at Joel K. Jacob. Follow Kev at Kevu Mufasa. That's Kevoo Mufasa Mufasa 7 on Twitter. That's Kev Mufasa 7 on Twitter. Follow Alex at _Coach Lewis 1 on Twitter. Follow Deem at BL Deem on Twitter. Again, that's BL Deem. Follow me at K_said_K. That's QUE. I can't say it like Joe. Again, that's K_said the word _KQUE on Twitter. Look, man, we up. We up, man. We about to beat the Bulls on Friday. Then we got the Boston Celtics. These boys don't think we got a chance. They think it's a chance for development. But I'm here. The Lord sent me here to tell y'all. Don't be shocked, man. I thought we was going to beat them before Jimmy went out. But I still think we got a fight chance. And with that said, man, hit that music because we out.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next time with a brand new episode of the Heat versus the World podcast.